Imagine instead of using the usual mascara, lip gloss, and eyeliner, and eyeshadow in your daily makeup routine, you had to use one of these guys. That's right, a leech to your face. Today, I'm going to tell you exactly what leeches and makeup have in common. I'm going to tell you about the history of makeup, starting with ancient Egypt, and then I will take you on a historical world tour of makeup, and then end back in the US with a quick overview of makeup's trends and changes through the decades. There's so much more to makeup than just making men and women more attractive. It actually has a rich and surprising history. Makeup dates back to 10,000 BCE. Ancient Egyptians believed the more attractive you looked, the closer to the gods you were. So they actually developed all of the cosmetics that we still use today. They had anti-aging cream and stretch mark cream, and they also used oils to moisturize their skin, and they had an array of perfumes. Makeup in Egypt wasn't just for women, it was also for men, and it was for all social classes. The one drawback to the makeup that the Egyptians used was that it contained mercury, which we know now isn't a good thing. There were many uses for Egyptian makeup, not just to look more attractive. Kohl, for example, was made of a mixture of lead, copper, burnt almonds, and soot, and it was used to line your eyes. Now, since your eyes are the windows to the soul, it was also believed to protect you from evil spirits. And just in case you also happen to be going blind, it was believed that kohl also helped improve vision. So it was a pretty popular product in Egypt. Now, Egypt wasn't the only place that was dabbling in makeup. Makeup was a worldwide phenomenon. Around 3000 BCE, the Chinese and Greeks began to whiten their faces. China would use rice powder, and the Greeks would use white lead. If you ask me, I think the Greeks should have asked China for some advice on that one. Now, Greek women would use rouge on their cheeks, or they would use berries as rouge on their cheeks, and the Chinese would paint their fingernails using gum, gelatin, and beeswax. Now, every color represented a different social status, so it was very easy to just take a quick look at someone's hands and realize where they fit in. Around 1500 BCE, the Chinese took makeup to a whole new level and started shaving off their eyebrows and painting their teeth black or gold. Again, it was another sign of social status. Around 100 AD, the Romans started using butter and barley powder to get rid of pimples. Call me crazy, but I don't think the best way to get rid of a pimple is to rub grease all over your face. But the Romans thought so. They would also use sheep fat and blood to paint their nails, and mud baths became more popular and men started dyeing their hair blonde. Now, personally, I think mud baths were popular because being bisexual was pretty popular back then, and mud baths just gave the guys an excuse to be around each other naked. Now, in 300 AD, the people of India jumped on board the makeup train with henna. Henna was used to decorate the body for religious ceremonies and to dye hair. It's also used during special occasions, for example, weddings, and it's still used today. That brings us to the Middle Ages, where makeup took quite a turn. Now, in England, during the Middle Ages, only the wealthy were able to wear makeup. The more pale your skin was, the more beautiful you were thought to be. And only lower class people had tan skin because they had been laboring in the sun all day. Now, women went to extreme measures to achieve this pale skin complexion. This is where the leeches come in, ladies. Anywhere from using egg whites on their skin to arsenic and lead-based paint to leeches. Now, the leeches were used to deplete their blood supply so that they appeared more pale and dizzy and faint. But I guess it was worth it. Now, as you can imagine, a side effect to using arsenic and lead-based paint on your face was death. So in the 1800s, it was discovered that zinc oxide was much safer to use than lead and arsenic, and it's actually still used in many of our cosmetic products today. In the 1800s, Queen Victoria declared makeup to be vulgar and outlawed it, If you did wear makeup, you were thought to be a prostitute and shunned by society. There was an exception. If you were an actor, you could still wear makeup because nobody wanted to look at an ugly actor. By the 1900s, makeup had regained its popularity because women wanted to look youthful and fresh, and they needed a little help. So makeup was actually bought in secrecy because all women wanted to appear as though they were just naturally perfect. But they were doing backdoor deals at boutiques to get skincare products and makeup. Tanned skin had also become a symbol of youth. So by the 1920s and 30s, there were several products to make your skin appear to be more tan. Really, it was orange, but for argument's sake, we'll call it tan. Now from there, makeup goes through many trends. In the 1940s, due to the Great Depression, makeup was scarce. In the 1950s, when movies started coming out in color, women coveted that flawless look, and so pancake makeup became very popular. In the 1960s, after the movie Cleopatra was released, the cat eye look was very popular. In the 1970s, a more natural approach to makeup was important. Now in the 1980s, it was cool to have your makeup match your clothes. And I'm sure we can all remember that no color was off limits, and also people were tanning more and more. Now in the 1990s, skincare became more important. So companies started developing foundations that also had skincare in mind. And the year 2000 brought us kissable lipstick. So now women could kiss their fella or take a drink from a wine glass without leaving back that tacky lip print. And by 2010, no makeup was the goal. Every woman wanted to wear a makeup that didn't feel like they were wearing makeup, but still gave them that flawless airbrush look, much like mine. So, as you can see, after that little history lesson, makeup has come a long way. I hope today, along our historical world tour about makeup, you learned a few things. Makeup does have a rich and surprising history. And the next time you look into your cosmetic bag, be thankful there's not a little jar of leeches in there. The price of beauty has come way down for all of us, thanks to all those makeup pioneers using lead paint on their faces. Thank you.